Today will not be about related to this model because, well, as you guys can see, I'm opening up my perfect Bible again. So we're gonna have a look at a vintage piece. And also to this I'm wearing now a Rasta color, and this is just a light yellow colorway, which is gonna be about this fellas. Specifically being this one in here. This is the DW-002R-9 Rasta G-Shock Model no Yellow 6月発売、15000円 or again another Rasta color for the year 1996. Here it comes with these two variations. This will be focusing on green, mostly this will be on yellow, and the one I'm holding out is in yellow, although I really wish I have the green one though. Let's put this magazine away, and I just arranged all of this G-Shock that I was wearing just now. Wait, something just. For today, I'm just gonna show you guys the features, all the details, overall look, thoughts and opinions, and ended up with a quick wrist check. Alright, let's have a look on the design profile. Again, this features a tough capsule concept model with featured upper and bottom case protection. Hard case protection. The module will be inside there, similar as this one over here. However, the build for the watch band is totally different. If you could tell already, this features this huge shock absorber. In this case, however, the shock absorber will be just based on this part and this nylon strap. So it's still safe because the bottom part will be the nylon. It's gonna absorb most of the shock if the watch falls in this part. If the watch falls in this part, it's gonna be protected with this deeply built bezel over there on the side, so it's been protected all the way around. So 360 protection for this piece as well, even though it looks slimmer. Anyway, let's have a look inside the watch face. Here is the illuminator up there on red colorway, calcium white, water resistant 200 meter in yellow. Timer set, a lot of writings to show what the complication or the function of each button is. Adjust mode, start stop, split reset, writing in green colorway, impressive as well, matching with the Rasta color theme. And this is the seconds counter up here, 10, 20, 30, 50. Up here will be another counter, and down here will be the time display, day, date and time, standard 1289 module if I'm not mistaken. And you know what, let's have a look. This is the G button in red color, black, huge G button actually, similar as this. However, compared to the recent G-Shock, the G button is thicker but less wider. This one is wider but slimmer. There's it. Press the light button to see there are no backlighting logo at all. However, the backlight in this is bluish. Look at this. This one is greenish. You can tell right away that this one is green. This one is bluish somehow. And this one is quite in the middle there. Anyway, this one is a lot more bluer. Down on this part, let's have a look on the buttons. Look at that, the buttons even have two surface units. Press this part over here. It acts like a lever where, you know what, let me zoom out. It works like a lever where you press it like that. So press mode, I'll go to the first one, which is the alarm. You can, if I'm not mistaken, you can set it up using this lower button over here, alarm on or off. We did already writing down what the purpose of this button, so it's very easy to know what's up. And you could also set when the alarm could ring as well. So monthly alarm, daily alarm, all up to you. Just single alarm, by the way. Press mode, we will go back to home time. And press mode again, we will go to another mode, which is the countdown timer. Of course, we could set it up. And let's see, we gonna have wait, I cannot toggle it using this upper button. It's gonna be pretty annoying as well. So keep pressing this start button only and hold it. So it seems like we are going to have a 24-hour stopwatch. I'm sorry, 24-hour timer down on this part. And we could also set the minutes if we want, but you cannot reverse it. So if I already set it to 1 minute, I cannot reverse it back. Press mode again, we could set this to also a couple of seconds. This is interesting. You know what, let's have a look on the countdown timer real quick, since I could set it up to a couple of seconds only, so it's not gonna waste too much time. 45, 6, 8, 9, 0. So let's set up to only 6 seconds, set this thing up and start the countdown timer. And I already turn on the flash alert over there, so you guys didn't know that is this flash alert signal. And that is the flash alert on. Off the timer, press mode, we will go back to home time. Press mode again, we will go to this mode called the stopwatch. Simple thing, start, split off, stop, stop and reset. I cannot set any target time, so although we still are able to see local time while we are operating these functions, that's kind of neat. We'll go back to home time, timer, stopwatch, and home time. That is all it on the features. If I'm not mistaken, press this lower button at home time to turn on the flash alert setting on rough. Keep holding it on for on. And let's try on the test screen if this watch even have it. Where is it? Where is it? Seems like this guy didn't have any test screen features. It's all fine. So it seems like I need to set up the calendar. We have set the time. The time is so far is pretty much accurate, but the calendar it should be 2017. 2020 is gonna max out to 2039 actually. There, all goes all the way back to 95. 7 and wait, it's already July, the day I'm filming this, 1st of July. And done. That's all it. And it seems like you have the calendar on this, so you don't need to set up the day by yourself. Let's move down a little bit on the watch band, which is a lot of things I need to tell you about. Here is the adapter. You can fit in, of course, a random watch band if you have one. WR for water resistant tube everything in green. Up here will be protection, G-Shock over there in red. You can see a lot of used mark as well, since this one is indeed in the used condition when I bought this, but still no cracking going on at all. Unlike this guy over here, the cracking went all the way almost everywhere now, so you need to watch the video if you want to know more. So this is the nylon or textile watch band. It features this part over here. The size of this part alone almost similar as the watch case, so it's gonna give like this weird look when you wear this on your wrist. You know, if you're not familiar, if you're not a big fan of vintage piece, you're not gonna have a good time or good feeling wearing this watch, I'll tell you that. And they have one more of this part is similar, not similar, it's pretty different. So this will be in the middle, this will be at the end here. It's pretty tricky though. If you have one of these, at least now you know how to set this thing up. It goes all the way here, along over here, and goes on a loop all the way back in and stuck in there. So if you have one of these and you find yourself trouble on placing this watch band back in position, so this is how it should look like. And of course it features 2 layers of them, and this part was stitched on here and this part is tapered. So look at that, this is the used part of this model. Well, so far, at least in the inner part outside, it looks very simple and normal. We have G-Shock over here, 3 colorway, red, yellow and green color combination, Rasta color theme. Very I mean, you can see that the black coloring here already faded, look more grayish and brownish as well, not as black as it should be though. Okay, that's all here on this part. Very not simple, and they just stitch this part up here. Look at that, and one more tape on here to tape this part to make this part stick to the watch. Just in case this part loose, you can the watch will still hold up on your wrist, even though this lug loose or this lug loose, like break or something. I don't know, but the watch still have something to hold on to at least. You know, so you could still save the watch. It's like a lot of protection. Okay, done on this upper part. Let's have a look on the bottom part, which is the second layer. This part feels a little bit more tougher and unique as well. It features this, what do you call this, a multicolor type of clothing or textile. You can see this type of color combination being utilized in most Rasta color team merchandise or sling bag. Most of the time they'll use this type of material on making sling bag, you know. And they have a lot of texture, what it calls pattern, few patterns on top here, but barely able to see because of this tape here was stitched on it. You're barely able to see the stitching though. Probably they're just glued on it, I don't know. But here is the most visible textile or pattern ad. Very beautiful and classic pattern of a Rasta color, more like a cultural theme, traditional clothing I guess. I don't know, I'm not sure about the fact though. But this is how it's gonna look like. And that is it as far as the overall look. And before I conclude this video, let's have a look on a wrist jacket. So how to wear this thing? First, of course, you need to wrap this first part on your wrist. Place the watch on a flat surface. That's how I wear it. It's pretty hard and annoying sometimes, but it feels very comfortable compared to original model where you just use plastic resin material, you know. And I already set this thing up to match with my wrist size, and of course it's gonna give me a very good fit, you know. First, wrap this thing around and just open this thing up, and now that is the purpose of this loop at the tip here. So I can wear it like this and just put it on and just strap it over here, G-Shock over here, and look at it, this part what I mean, it's gonna look odd and big because it's sticking out very high up like that. It's pretty weird, but if you look at it from the front right here, it looks pretty normal, like standard nylon watch band, such as the blackout basic nylon version that we got today. But on the side, of course, as far as the top part goes, still normal, but when you look at the bottom though, this part is normal, but this part aren't. It's like very weird. What is this thing sticking out too high, like almost the same height as the watch, you know? But then again, it is a Rasta color theme, and from a distance, it kind of reminds me of the TV show from Japan. If I'm not mistaken, they call it the Mask Rider. Somehow it's just me, but that one is in orange colorway, similar to this guy in the back here. But this one kind of reminds me of that because of the yellow colorway and this square pattern over here, almost like a Gundam or robotic light, very futuristic as far as from the 90s, but for now this is just looking vintage. Let me show you guys a quick comparison as well, just in case you are wondering. Look on wrist over here, this one looks this red one looks a little bit slimmer as far as the watch band, but and I don't know, for both of these I believe the red one still wins over there. However, this one looks more versatile, more stylish, I guess, probably because of the yellow and black color combination. It fits to most outfits. For this, however, it's in red. I mean, it is beautiful because of this watch band. It have that advantage, and I don't like this leather below here because it's pretty uncomfortable to me. For this, is way comfortable and way fit and feels a lot more safer when compared to when wearing this. That's just me. Of course, guy like this is way better for functions, complication, and way more tougher than this guy. But then again, this guy features a plastic resin material watch band. This nylon watch band gonna last you longer than the watches, I guess. Yeah, I believe so. And that is all it that I have to share with you about this Rasta color DW. And I almost forgot about this. I almost end the video without showing you guys the back plate for this model though. And it's pretty hard. Let me pull this thing out. This part should be out here actually, so I just stick it in here to make it look slicker. Let's pull this thing just a little bit for me to be able to show you the back plate of this model before I end this video. We have shoulders over there, G right logo over here for no reason, and the model number will be DW-002 water resistant Japan Y1289 module, standard model as similar to most DW-900 series model. And for the buckle, it features a Japan sign below it there. So this is fully made in Japan, similar as this Rasta color model, made in Japan. Very collectible, very incredible piece to have in your collection. If you're a Rasta fan, if you're a reggae fan, if you are just like weed in general, or you just like the culture, the colorway, the music, all about Rasta colorway. If you are into that category, this is the watch for you as well. So I mean, this one is very collectible. It's gonna hold up the resale price pretty well as well, if you're planning to resell it, of course. But anyway, that is all, you guys. I hope you guys found all this information I've given you useful and helpful as well for your future reference. And if it's possible, I really would like for you guys to contribute back to me as a support to this channel, to keep the channel running, by donating to my Patreon page as well. If you can, still fine, you can just support me by liking this video, sharing, leave a comment, all that good stuff. And that is all it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. This is G-Shock High Fashion channel, and